Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. One of the biggest arguments against doing a player SBC in FC26 is that you can usually make a better EVO version of that card for the same player. Well, that might be a very real scenario here in the next couple of days for one of the biggest SBC leaks that we just talked about for Bundesliga team of the season, because right after he was leaked, we've now learned of an evolution which he fits that gives 3 meta playstyle pluses, and that EVO might be today before Bundesliga team of the season starts. So we're going to talk about that today. Plus, on our last day of Premier League team of the season, what is going to happen to these player prices? Are they going to go up because last week's Serie A team of the season flew, or are they going to go down? We're going to take a look at some graphs and talk about that and how fodder is flying right now, and we can invest in it. Let's discuss everything, guys. If you're excited for this one, drop a thumbs up in the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, yesterday's content on a Wednesday brought us one little simple new objective, and that is the silver tots Anna Sandberg from Manchester United. Very easy to complete card there. Just playing a couple of games and 100 SP inside of that. Nothing crazy. Now, to EVOs we go, where we actually had, I'm going to say it, a nice free EVO yesterday. It gives a stat boost. It's not a chain EVO per se. It's actually a decent one. Flint and Steel takes your center back to 90 pace and gives very solid defense and physical boost. When I'm looking at this and seeing the cards that come out of it, I'm most impressed by the stats. Like, again, not crazy impressed, but for a free EVO that only takes your card to 90, I mean, we could have a max 93 playstyle plus center back EVO in the next couple of weeks for sure. It's a good kind of like step up to almost being that top tier, elite tier player, right? You're getting stats boosted here, jumping to 95, aggression to 92, heading to 95, a lot of like 90 plus stats. There's 95 jumping again. Strength all the way up to 95. That's very good for the lengthy players. Is there a agility boost in this? There's an agility plus 20 up to 88. So the players that are going into this, if they're tall enough, can stay lengthy. I like this, man. Like, look at this Coutinho Romero who I have in my club. He goes to 90 pace, 90 defending, 93 physical. That is very solid there. I think this is one that you might want to put on a live card of Lucas Beraldo. This is a very interesting situation with this card here. If you take a look at Footbin for the most popular EVOs that people are creating with this, Beraldo is up there because he is due a +1 overall for PSG's win in the Champions League. He has not got that upgrade yet, and you know, it's a possibility that if you put him into this EVO, make him a 90 rated, you might get some other small stat boosts on the card. Now again, keyword there is small. He might only get like +1 shooting, and you may not get any other stat boosts around the rest of the card if you do this, but if you're a PSG fan, I think that would personally be worth the try. But there are some nice center backs you can create through this, and I don't mind the +2 overall there. And of course, it's nice that it is free. Now, let's talk about the SBCs that we had yesterday. Of course, we had our Danny Welbeck card that I know some of you guys have been looking forward to for a minute. He is 5-star weak foot. He is lengthy. He's got the low driven, the finesse, and the enforcer. Not a card that I'm particularly interested in, but I think EA made him usable with the playstyles. I wish they would have given him rapid for the lengthy, just for the optimal pace in game, but he still does look decent, and he is pretty cheap to complete as well. Just 2 squads coming in 89 and 90. I should take that back. That's not super cheap. That's 150,000 coins. I thought he was going to be like an 87 and an 88. Never mind. That's not as cheap as you would have liked to see it for Daniel Welbeck, but if that's a card that you're interested in, you know, you can go and do it. Best part of yesterday, hands down on SBCs, though, were the TOTS packs. The guaranteed Premier League TOTS pack and the Week 2 TOTS player pick. Guys, speaking about this player pick here, since we're on this SBC now, I didn't do the Week 1 TOTS player pick more than like once or twice during Serie A. This one's different because it's got Premier League players inside of it, and there's some top tier cards that are really expensive that, of course, you could be packing for the next entire week. Like during Bundesliga team of the season, we're still going to have a chance to pack Prem cards from this. It's an 86 and then 2 87 rated squads, which isn't super duper cheap. But honestly, I'm way more interested in that than I was the Week 1 TOTS player pick. So that's the same one as last week, just updated for Premier League, and it is repeatable multiple times per day. So that is cool. GG's EA for that. And then also, this is a good one too, guys. I think the Serie A last week, as we talked about in yesterday's video, was too expensive with 3 squads being required. This one is just an 87 and an 88 with only 1 team of the season required. And that's coming in at 83,000 coins, but that seems way more craftable, and it just doesn't seem as crazy as 3 squads for Serie A did last week, especially because this Premier League team of the season is more expensive than Serie A was. And we're going to open this Premier League TOTS upgrade pack here live on the video. I had a couple of player picks that I was working through. Did pack another TOTS card. You can see the counters going up by 2. Don't worry, they weren't on stream, so you didn't see them, but they were fodder TOTS cards. Let's see who we get here from our Premier League TOTS player pack. Again, I don't mind the price of this. Center mid Brazil, Bruno Guimaraes. Okay, so that one's not that crazy, but that's just, it's fun, okay? Like, it is fun to do a TOTS upgrade SBC like this, especially for Premier League, and I like that the player pick is going to be allowing us to pack Prem TOTS cards for the next week on this game. Now, because it was a big day of SBCs, guys, take a look at team of the season prices and fodder prices. Fodder has kind of come to life. SBCs are going to look more expensive because of how much these prices have gone up. Now, TOTS breakthroughs were 14,000 coins just a couple days ago, and right now I believe they're selling for about 16K. Not quite 17, but they are selling for about 16,000 coins on the market. And look at 89s. 89 rated cards are upwards of around 7,000 coins. These were 4K yesterday. 4,000 coins, and now all the 89s are close to 7K, or like at least in the 6K range, with a lot of them being close to 7, like Lamine Yamal, Verts, and stuff like that. That's a pretty big rise, if we're being honest. Rodri as well, he's up over 1,000 coins a card. This dude was 6K yesterday and is now 8,000 coins. Now, I'm mentioning this because it's good to see fodder move, right? That's great if you were invested. If you weren't invested, there is another opportunity today with Division Rivals rewards. I think it's going to be a great time to bid on the 91 rated, 92 rated, 93 rated team of the season cards. If you can get these on bid, right now it says they're only 23,000 coins for the 93 rated cards. However low these go during Rivals today, especially if they go like under 20K, I would highly recommend getting on bids for these, because heading into Bundesliga TOTS with the SBCs that we do have leaked, I think that's going to be a really, really easy way to make coins. And at the very least, you're just stocking your club up for a future SBC or a future long-term investment. The 93 rated TOTS cards at that price, I think, are very, very good. So that could be a card, like if you buy Koga today, like on bid, at like 20,000 coins or something, you could sell her maybe later on today on Thursday for 26, 27K. Maybe Friday night they peak a little higher than that with the big SBCs that are coming out. So I think that's a good investment. I also think the 85s are a good investment as well. If you can get them for like 1.4 to 1.5K, however low they go during Rivals today, if you're on a lower budget, highly recommend investing in those, because that would be easy coins as well. They should rise tomorrow after content, and maybe even a little bit right after Friday content, as people are going and doing the SBCs. You would just want to sell all those cards by Friday night late, because again, Foot Champs will bring in that tradable supply, but fodder is going to get supplied today, and I think that is a good investment. Now, what I'm not sure about in terms of a good investment is this Premier League team of the season team. All right, we kind of talked about buying these cards earlier this week, and they've really not shown signs of life. Like, it hasn't seemed like people are really wanting to invest in these for their team, because the prices of these cards have just stayed the same or dropped a little bit. Soboslai is still here at 290,000 coins. VVD's 2.3 mil. Declan Rice 2.7. A card like Semenyo has had good movements. Like, he's rising right now after yesterday's release of the TOTS pack. Like, he was 1.6 low. He's up right now to 1.78. This is one thing that we maybe thought we'd see on some of the more expensive cards. But last week with Serie A, I think, was a different story than this week with Prem. And what I mean by that is, last week with Serie A team of the season, if you take a look at a card like this Indica, right? Last week on Wednesday and Thursday, this card started to rise heavy. And these cards from Serie A team of the season became incredible investments. I think that was because they were super cheap. And then the Prem TOTS cards came out. And yeah, they're Premier League team of the season, but you don't have a center back like Indica who is 50,000 coins last week, right? You don't have anybody like that in this team of the season. I think that's one of the reasons that that card went up, and one of the reasons why some of these Serie A cards in general went up last week. My advice with Premier League cards this week would be, since they don't show very good signs of demand right now, and with what happened last year with these Prem TOTS cards, which I'll look at their graphs in a second, if you want to buy somebody for your team, especially if it's like a Declan Rice, a Semenyo, a Haaland, more of expensive type card, I think you buy them, you play your weekend league, and then you sell them. I don't think you want to hold on to these because with what we saw happen with the Serie A team in the season and how low those cards just were in general, like Serie A TOTS cards, there were so many of them less than 100,000 coins. There's not as many for Premier League. I think that with Bundesliga coming in, you're going to have TOTS cards get pretty cheap again. That might cause what happened last year in the FC25 market to happen again this year in FC26. Take a look at this Isak card last year. This card was so crazy hype last year for a Premier League team of the season. Price dropped all week of being in packs, hit a low point of Wednesday, rose up a little bit into Friday, but then if you look at the weekend of when Bundesliga TOTS started right after that, tanked. 1.4 mil down to 800K, literally in just a couple of days. And that was not just the Isak card. You take a look around the rest of these cards from last year, team of the season of Premier League as well. Saliba was 1.6 mil. Like, you had a nice rise. People were like, oh, Prem TOTS, they're hyped. This is my buy time. He went from 1.5 mil up to 1.6, all the way down to 1 million coins by the 3 days later, Monday, after they went out of packs. So maybe I'm being a little more careful now. I'm changing my tune for sure because I was liking the investment of the Prem TOTS cards. Now I'm not liking them so much. But with the way they're feeling on the market as well, that's kind of influencing my advice to you guys is not to buy these cards and hold on to them for very long. Even if it is a card that you do want in your team, I think I would play the safe route. Buy it for FUT Champs. Enjoy the card because, guys, it's May, right? Buy the card you want to enjoy. Use the card. Have the fun that you can have. But then just don't hold on to it for very long. Maybe look to rebuy it next week. Even if it's a card that you want to use during the week, you will lose less coins if you log on, buy it, play with it, then sell it, and then log back on, specifically for this weekend. So that's my advice to the Premier League team of the season cards there, just to be the most careful that we can be about the market. Now, let's kind of go into the news section of today's video, talk about all the leaks and news they were put out. Of course, we've got this loading screen here of Bundesliga and all the other leagues coming out on Friday tomorrow, team of the season cards, but there's really no surprises here because we know we have the official stats for everything, right? This is the Bundesliga team. We've got, of course, the Saudi team that was leaked a couple days ago, but what's new in terms of official stat leaks is the Bundesliga women's team and also the rest of the world squads. They were just tweeted out yesterday. So we have 64 team of the season cards that are going to be in packs this weekend, tomorrow, on Friday, and that is pretty crazy. You do have some decent cards in here for the Frauen Bundesliga. Stanway looks good as a box-to-box midfielder, maybe a CDM with the intercept and the ping and the tech. Hard there as a striker. I hope she has cam as well. I mean, low-driven, technical, and incisive does look very good. The Clara Bull stat that we saw in yesterday's video was a mistake. It's 79 defending, not 97. Fudala looks good, and other than that, the rest of the team just looks okay. Few gems in there. Same thing you could say about the rest of the world TOTS squad. You've got Juan Mata up there at the very top of the official stats. Look at this guy, 95 rated Al Arab, 88 pace, 95 defending, 93 physical, but he's got intercept, bruiser, and anticipate. That is a perfect combination of playstyle pluses there for his card. You know, a couple of other decent cards inside of this team. But again, when I look at this TOTS team, I see cheap players. Even with the Bundesliga cards, like Diamande might be super cheap. Vuskovic is going to be super cheap. Upamecano might only be a couple 100,000 coins, maybe like 300 to 400K because he's French and he's Bayern. But like a Pavlovic, he shouldn't be too much. Ryerson, he shouldn't be too much. That's one of the reasons why I'm worried for the Premier League TOTS cards that are in packs right now, and kind of the reason I'm changing my tune on investing in those and holding on to those. So those are the official stat leaks for all 64 of those cards coming to packs tomorrow. And here's the list of players coming in weekend league red picks. This one right here, the women's Bundesliga, what's her position? Goalkeeper. Dick, she's going to be the point of many jokes this weekend, especially into red picks. Ryerson, Baumgartner, Balasager, Alex Garcia, Upamecano, going to be in picks probably pretty commonly. Upamecano might not be a bad red pick, but that'd be another reason that he would be pretty cheap. Think about how Cherky was pretty cheap as well this week. But these are the cards that are going to be available from those red player picks there for getting your FUT Champs wins. What is it? 8 wins or above gives you the red picks. So that's what you're chasing after through FUT Champs this week. Now, I mentioned red FUT Champs rewards because leaked yesterday, we had the news of red pick upgrades that are going to be coming back soon. I don't know if I did any of these. If they were in the game last year, I don't know if I did any of them. I feel like these were better in the old FIFAs because we just had more red picks. Like, there was a time back in the day where you could stock up the red picks from Team of the Week red picks from weeks and weeks and weeks prior to Team of the Season, and then you could turn those in during Team of the Season to have a chance at like actual TOTS red picks. Well, now that kind of enjoyment is gone because we're not getting the red picks on the weekly like we were when Team of the Weeks used to be cool. That's a nostalgia thing right there. I think I miss out on personally those red picks every week and then saving those up for a long period of time to put into like red TOTS upgrades during Team of the Season. I digress. I have a couple of red picks from each of the last 2 weeks of Foot Champs. I got Fernandez and I got Thompson this week, but it's not like I'm looking to turn those into an upgrade where you have to turn in 11 of these. I don't think that's how many you'd have to turn in. Maybe it would just be like 3 or 4. If there is a guaranteed rating on the packs that come out of this, like if it's a 93 or maybe it needs to be even a 94 plus. I mean, all the red picks are 93, so maybe it needs to be a 94 plus TOTS Foot Champs red card that you could pack out of this. That might be cool. Well, we'll just have to see what that leak is going to look like, but I'm interested in seeing what that is. I just don't know if I'm like super crazy hyped. Last thing in terms of regular FUT news, foot news, is that FC26 is going to be the one of the PlayStation free games of the month for the month of May. I tweeted this out and quote tweeted. I was like, yo, this is actually kind of cool. Right before the World Cup, if you know somebody who wants to play this game, again, all the jokes aside of like this game, the state of it, content, it's not the best state that it's ever in for sure. It is FC26 has been, it's been that. But if you're a casual and you just want to log on to the game while the World Cup is going on, I mean, this is the nice thing that it's free. So that's all that I'm saying by tweeting that out yesterday. So if you know somebody who wants to play this game, tell them to download it for free and don't spend any money. Because, of course, EA is going to try to get people in the game to get them to spend money on the game after they get it for free. But, free to play, as always. Tell them to watch the YouTube videos here so they can make coins and be ahead of things, right? But I just wanted to tell that to you guys because I think that's pretty cool news. Now, we got to talk about this EVO, all right? Let's bring it down and talk about this left back max 89 EVO that was leaked yesterday that makes me really curious about the Theo Hernandez SBC because it seems like Theo Hernandez is going to fit in this EVO. And also, this is a 3-play style plus evolution as well, which we need more of, guys. This is the leak from Foot Police. He says a new max 89 left back evolution is set to come to Ultimate Team soon. Should be 3 play style pluses, and all the news is in the replies. He says, Theo Hernandez SBC or EVO, I think they'll make the SBC better just to charge more. Will they, though? I mean, that's been the whole thing this year with EVOs is like, it's not just about the EVO that you can create through this from like his base card. It might just be, you could do other chains and put Theo Hernandez into other EVOs that are out right now, maybe like the Beast Mode, or maybe these other evolutions that boost up specific stats around the card. Rapid gains, maybe. You could give him a huge strength boost and give him an agility boost, right? He wouldn't fit Fountain of Youth, but like TIE Interceptor, maybe you could put him into that and then end up creating a card better than his SBC because of the chains. That's where the EVO conversation in EVO or SBC really comes into play. But more about this EVO, I guess it will not allow center backs. And like he says here, Foot Police, and I think another response tweet below this, he says, can't be center back right now. Let's hope they change it like last week with Cam. And what he means by that, if you guys remember, was the 125,000 coin EVO that we had last week was supposed to not allow center attacking mids to fit into it. And of course, it was released, and center attacking mids like Messi do fit. Now, if center backs are allowed to fit in this EVO, it is going to be way, way, way better. Because think about some left backs that might be in your club that have that center back position. One card that I think of right away is the 89 rated Maldini. This is a max 89 left back EVO. This card, man, if you could EVO him and give him a stat boost and a 3rd play style plus, which this EVO is going to give, that would be pretty sick. You've got other cards in here that have the center back position on a left back item like Bombito, the Beraldo, who we just talked about. Any of you guys who have Oosterwald chains from Full Birthday, this card was crazy. Imagine you could give him a 3rd play style plus if center backs are allowed to fit in this. So that's a really, really big thing there. Also, he says max 93 pace at the moment is the stat cap and max 2 playstyle pluses, but it does give a 3rd playstyle plus. And he says he doesn't think this is the biggest Friday EVO, but it is a big one. all 3 playstyle pluses are meta. And as of the time of me recording this, he hasn't said like what playstyle pluses are actually going to be given to the card. But I'm going to have to guess maybe if it's going to be all meta, Bruiser, Intercept, Quick Step. Or maybe it's like Quick Step, Bruiser, pinged, or quick step, intercept, and pinged. Like that would maybe be my guess into what playstyle pluses they would declare as meta that this EVO would give. Again, you have to have 2 playstyle pluses or below to fit into it. So if you've already got an EVO to 3 playstyle plus player, you wouldn't be able to put them in this. But it is nice to see a 3 playstyle plus EVO. I will absolutely say that, because we've been basically every day when EVOs drop, we're looking for a third playstyle plus to be put on all these cards. So that's going to be a really interesting evolution. Of course, as you mentioned, Teo. Obviously, Teo fits. His price is flying. This guy was 340,000 coins. Now he's upwards of 400,000 coins. The gold Teo is really not up that much, but with chains, you know, watch out for that card. He might actually end up flying in price with the other chains that we have out if people start to create incredible chains with this card and EVO him instead of doing the SBC that is about to come out. And that's the real question mark, right? How good is this EVO going to boost stats compared to the SBC? The SBC, we know the official stats. It's got Bruiser, it's got Quick Step, and it's got Jockey. 94 pace, 92 dribbled, 90 defending, and 91 physicality. That doesn't seem too far off of where they might let an EVO go right now in terms of a stat boost. And then again, with chains, you might be able to get those stats even higher. So that's the real question mark for me. Check your club for left backs, and I guess we're really going to find out maybe today. This EVO could be today, guys. It's definitely not out of question. Thursdays have been weirdly interesting for EVOs in some of the past weeks. Last week we had like a little chain EVO. It wasn't anything wild, but I do remember a couple of Thursdays ago we actually had like a legit good EVO on a Thursday. So that EVO could be today. Most likely it would be during the weekend of Bundesliga TOTS, but we will have to see. Other than that, content today is really division rivals rewards and not much else. We don't have any other player SBCs that are leaked right now. Last week we had the last minute Thomas Muller who was dropped into the game. There's no leaks as of the moment who could be added in last minute here for Premier League team of the season. We might have no player SBC today. It might just be the last day of Prem TOTS. Is a very slow day before we get to Bundesliga team of the season tomorrow. Marquee matchups, stuff like that. Maybe another little another little pack SBC as a part of content today. And maybe today is just a day to catch up. Like, I have not finished the TOTS exhibition yet, and there's, you know, decent rewards inside of here. 83-10, 84-10, 85/7. That's a objective that I would really like to get done, not just for the Harry Wilson and the Elliot Anderson, but the guaranteed pack as well, plus those other packs. So that's kind of what today may be for me, at least on a Thursday, trying to catch up on some of that stuff. And then, of course, we will have the Bundesliga team of the season tomorrow, which I'm really curious about the SBCs, guys. I'm going to be watching the leaks very closely to see if they tell us how expensive these SBCs might be for the Leonard, Carl, and the Di Maria that we are looking forward to tomorrow. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys in a video, or in a stream today. We'll be live today on Thursday. I'll see you guys in the stream today. It's been Nate TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.